Okay, hi everyone. We're here to introduce you today to the ARES file sharing system. My name is Mark Nettle. I've been involved with the ARES project for quite a few years. And if you're a teacher or administrator, I suspect you're going to want to be uploading files to ARES on a regular basis. So we provided a very easy to use and very flexible tool for you to do that. And what I'm going to do today is show you how to do two key things. One is to simply upload a file to the server so that it can be accessed by you or other people. And then secondly, I'm going to show you how to share that to specific groups of people or individuals that you want to be able to get access to that, and to make sure that they are aware that they have access to it at the same time. So let's get started with that. We're going to start at the server. You should have your notebook or your desktop connected to the ARES server. And scroll up just a little bit and you can see it says ARES file share. I'm going to click on that, and the first thing you're going to see is going to prompt me to log in. Now I've set up some IDs on this already, and I'm going to show you how to do some of your own. But let's go ahead and log in with one of the IDs I set up, and I'm going to use a teacher ID to do that. And we're logging in. As you can see, the first thing you're going to see when you log in here is just an activity screen that shows how much activity has been happening on the system in terms of file sharing. You can look at that if you're interested, you may not, and at the bottom there'll be potentially for your school some news related to the file sharing system and some things that you might need to know that your administrator can put in. Necessary. Now let's get started. So to upload a file, all you need to do is go up to the upper left, click Files, click the Upload button here. You'll see how simple this is in a second. Then I'm going to click Files. And what the system's going to do is it's going to actually connect me to the file system on the computer that I'm using. And this can, by the way, can be your phone or whatever computer you're connected from. So if you've got a file or a video or a document of any kind you want to save on ARES, this is what you would use. So I've already created some files I'm going to use for this demo, and I'm going to pick a couple of them. One of them is the instructions here itself, and another one is just the ARES logo, so we can show loading a picture. Like I said, it could be a video, it could be lots of other things. Click open on that because I'm on a Windows system, so that opened it there, saved it there. You can see both files are listed here as ready for upload. And all I have to do now is click the upload button right here, and it's done. And you can see that now you've got both files listed here. And once I've done that, I can do a couple of key things here. And I want to just highlight a few of these. First of all, I can select a date for expiration. Now that's important because when you're using a shared file system on the server, it's important that everybody have access to the shared storage. So if you're using documents and videos that you're only going to use for a short period of time, you want to set an expiration date because the system will automatically delete them for you. That saves you from having to go in and do that on your own and remembering to go back and clean it up. And this will keep the amount of storage space used on the server down. You can see now that the files are there, they're available. If I click on Manage Files, you'll see the same files that I just loaded there. And you can see some information about them. Public permissions, the one that I made public is ready for download. The other one is not. And as you can see, I didn't assign the top one to anybody in particular, whereas the bottom one was. And I can see how many downloads were done of it, so I can tell that it was actually used or not, and I can see the expiration date. So lots of good information, and if for some reason I need to change any of that, I can click the edit button to do that. So that's how easy it is to add files to the ARES file sharing system. They're now available to anybody or specifically the people I want to. So the next question as a teacher, I suspect, is you're going to want to know how to actually save files for a specific group of people, which is more likely going to be your own class. So let's talk about that for a second. What I'm going to do is go down and add a group, a client group. And in the client group, I'm going to click Add New, and what this is going to allow me to do is I'm going to assume an English teacher. So we'll just put the group name English class here. And now it allows me to pick members. So I've got 2 students. I'm going to put both students in. Like in this case, I'll just click Add All. And I'm going to click Public. That means that other students can ask to be a part of this group, and I can decide whether to make them part of that or not. And then I'm going to hit Create Group. I can also add a brief description, and we'll call that, this is Kia's English class at 4 p.m. daily, and create the group. And then we'll save the group, and we're all done. Now I look at Manage Groups, and you can see now I have one called English class. Okay, and let's go back and share a file specifically with just that class now. So I'm going to go back to my files. I'm going to click Upload, and going to click Add Files again. And now I'm going to pick this one, ARES Server Operating Instructions, just in case the class needed to know that, and hopefully they don't. Click Upload Files, and it's there. Now, you can see that file's there, and I have the same opportunities. I'm going to set an expiration date, pick a different one again, click File Expires, and in this case, rather than assigning to a specific set of individual people, I'm going to just pick a group, and I'm going to pick my English class, and I can also add a category. This will allow somebody to do a search, so I'm going to just call it Instructions. And it creates the speller, right? The category Instructions, so somebody could also do a search on that keyword as well. Hit Save. And all of a sudden I have that in there now, and what will happen is the students that are part of that class will be notified that they have a file that they can download themselves, and they'll be able to click the download button, or they can open it right on the server. So that's all they had to do. So the last question then is, how do students get registered and how do you get registered? And to do that, 2 things can be true. One is, for you to get registered, you're going to need to ask your IT administrator to do that. The reason being is that there are a class of users that have the ability to upload files and to edit them and to add groups and things like that. And that's something that the IT administrator can do. So one of the first jobs of the IT administrator in each school will be to set up all the teachers with their own profiles. So you need to make sure that's happened, and we'll be working with them to make sure that happens. You can add individual groups, as I showed you, and you can even add clients. A client in this case could be a student. So we can add, for instance, we'll just call them student 3 here as an example. I'm going to give them the same login ID as student 3. I'll give them a password. I have to give them an email address. Now this can be just any email address, so we'll just call them student gmail.com. If they actually have email addresses and you want to send it to them, you're certainly welcome to put that there. If not, it'll be okay. You can just put any email in there and it'll proceed from there. And then I'm going to also pre-assign this person to a group. So I'm going to assign them to my English class. And then I'm just going to check a couple of things here. Client can log in, obviously. We want them to be notified, him or her to be notified, which is already clicked. Send a welcome email, which is always nice. And you can ask them if you want them to change the password, or you can unclick that and use the password you assign, and you'll have to give that to them. So you just click Add Client and Save Client, and we're done. And now if I go to client groups, if I look in manage groups, you can see that I've got the English class here, and I can look at the files that have gone to the English class, which is just one. I can also go back and look at the group and check and see who's in it, what the actual members are, and the definition, and change anything I want to on that. And I can also look at any membership requests, and there's nobody that's requested to be a member of that right now. So that fundamentally is all the key things you need to do to get a file added and to share it with your students or with other teachers if you want to do that. As you can see, it's very easy. The only things you need to keep in mind is make sure you've got your ID set up, and then make sure you've got your students registered or that somebody in the school has registered them. And after that, you're off and running. And if you have any questions, you can contact the local ARES administrator, which is now Kelvin Gattow. And you can also reach out to myself, Mark Nittel, at mark.nittel@gmail.com. That's KNITTEL. And we look forward to getting any questions and any suggestions you have on how to make this better. Thank you.